Welcome to Eyefrica Media, the biggest media platform for all things eye care on the African continent. I'm Ob Malope, and of course, as you can see, this is part 2 of our initial conversation with Luzelke from FEDE Eyewear. And yes, I am wearing FEDE Eyewear. This is amazing, guys. Check this out. Who would have thought that a guy like me, this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. I would rock this every single day. I'm out there. And just the options that are available. Sometimes you go into optometry practices and you don't find good options that are available for you, let alone finding great options. And I'm just surprised at the amount of great options that I'm getting from your product range. And so today, as part 2, we're going into more in-depth discussions about the product selection. What do we have here, Luzelke?
We've got our FEDE premium range here. So this is the range that we feel is so safe for everyone. It just adds that little bit of color, a little bit of trendiness to your eyewear, but it is still safe. You can still wear it in any occasion, every day, and not feel that it's too much. Some of them will put you out there, but most of the premium range is so easy to wear. So I can maybe just take you through the products. We try to always at FEDE price it according to the inherent material quality. So if it's a titanium, we price it according to the titanium, but really just looking at the total quality of the frame and then deciding this materials is going for this in the market, and it's important to price it accordingly to the material. So we've got the FEDE premium range in a titanium and acetate. The acetates we used is a very high oil-based acetate, which make its longevity just great, and the flexibility is great for dispensing. You don't even need a heater for it. So I had a lot of frustration in practice where I was like heating and people waiting, and you don't get it into the shape you want it. So It's really easy to adjust, but it does stay in its place. So that's a great quality of acetate. You know the quality of the acetate according to its oil base. And flexibility, but also staying in position.
That's very important, because you find that in a lot of optometry practices, the people that are doing the adjustments, it's actually the staff who need to have confidence in the product. And so you actually are not only solving a problem for the patients as well in terms of what they're going to be wearing, but you're making it easy for the staff to manage the patient's wearing experience. And if they come back and they say, hey, can you adjust this for me? Can you do that? You're making it easier for that process to be there, and to not have a staff member who is afraid to help because they're not sure how. So that's a very important aspect that you're highlighting.
Definitely. And then we have a range where the titanium is in the temple. So instead of stainless steel or other materials, it is due to its lightweight and flexibility, we used a beta titanium, which is known for flexibility. And then in a good quality acetate in all of the frames. The difference between some of the frames is that some of the frames uses lamination technology. So if you go to the P range, I just want to quickly show you, for instance, this frame over here.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, so very interesting frame. And the way that this acetate is combined into this solid and then the transparent is by a lamination process. So that is a handmade process. The dispenser and the frontline staff can tell the patients that this is a handmade frame because of the process being handmade. So the words that come to mind for people these days is unique, handmade, bespoke eyewear, and they can really feel that is what they have when they buy this frame.
Is this unisex?
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Let's put it to the test.
Yeah, let's put it to the test. Definitely. When you first looked at it, what did you think?
I like the colors, and then I started thinking to myself,
is this a male
or a female? And then I started looking at the shape and looking at the size and just looking at it, and I'm like, anyone can rock this. And I think when I look at previous brands or previous products that come into the market, sometimes what they say is unisex, and what you're actually holding as unisex, they don't mix, But I'm confident now, or I'll be comfortable as an optometrist to then recommend a unisex product, knowing that there is something that actually is a unisex product, and this is actually phenomenal. The colors work with
Definitely.
either or, you know.
So, great.
So I kind of like this, and the aspects of the product features and benefits, you actually get to see them, and wow, this is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I think what is really important in eye care and eyewear in the industry now is lightweightedness, flexibility of the acetates and the materials, the corrosion properties of the metals used. So not to use alloys like mixed metal alloy, but to stay to only stainless steel when you use some other than titanium. Only use stainless steel because of its non-corrosive properties. And then also in the titaniums to know what is good for what. So if you want a flexible titanium, buy a beta titanium frame. If you want a very rigid frame, buy a pure titanium frame because it will give you rigid hinges and to be educated on what works for what and why do we incorporate that in this frame or that frame. And I've taken the time to learn about materials so that the optometrist can trust me on this and know that I've selected materials that I know will be durable. They won't give problems in terms of turning green or yellow or all of that. Yeah.
Your frames, or the product range frames, they seem to have a lot of detail on them. Was it something that you were intentional about? The frames seem to have a lot of the small details that actually make the brand stand out, or that make the particular frame that one is holding stand out even more, and it gives it that unique feature that you mentioned before as well. What was the thought process behind that?
Yes, so definitely for me, when I, for instance, picked up this frame, it is a semi-rimless, easy to wear frame, but just a little glitter is so still simplistic, but it just adds that I've invested in my eye care.
Wow.
Yes, and small things like this, small amount of glitter here, just shows you that even the temple has various thoughts to it. So inside a little bit of glitter, outside monotone. So and the way the front part and the temples sometimes differ in color for specific reasons or flow into each other for a specific look.
You seem to love color that's not boring. So I'm getting the sense that simplicity does not have to be boring. It has to still be elegant. It still has to be enhancing patient experience. Because at the end of the day, the people that are going to be wearing these products are not only the optometrists, but the patients themselves.
Yes.
And so...
And for instance, this type of... this is a problem solution, or like, for instance, a patient comes into a practice, they have a little bit more square lens multifocal from a different acetate in a different frame. They come into your practice and they need an immediate replacement. They don't have time for you to call the company for a replacement. They need something now. They're flying over to Mauritius or whatever. And I've learned that these products, I can, by slight adjustment, because of its great thermal properties, can change into a shape that I need for emergencies as well. So great to just go to the shelf and say, I've got a solution today for you. And just without even edging, sometimes you can, because of the nice thermal properties of the frame, use it in various problem-solving ways.
Wow, I love that. Do you only cater for males and females, or do you perhaps have a kids range as well that you take care of?
Yes, we also love kids, and I love pediatric optometry. So I think that's a very important part of the eye care industry, and there's quite limitations on the availability. All of us know that there's a lot of options for adults, but a little bit less for kids. So in the kiddies range, we want to have the same qualities that's in the products and the same type of high quality materials in a kiddies range. That's an example of a little girl's frame, and just
very light as well.
Yes, and knowing that it can flex so easily to get into position, because kids come there and you need to quickly adjust it, and they all over the show maybe fall on it, and you want to just be able to adjust it easily back into position.
What's that one thing that you would say is vital for optometrists to know regarding FEDE Eyewear?
That they can put their trust in us to make sure whatever their needs are in terms of eyewear, we will find a solution for it. And that we want to be a problem solver for them. So they can come to us as a company. Like I said, we have a verb in our brand. We want to work on the tangible and intangible aspects of the company, and that they can really trust us. Like when you go to Woolies, you trust them for fresh food. They must come to FEDE and really trust us that we know what's going on in the industry, what's good in terms of material, and that we will cater for that.
Wow. Guys, where can people reach you?
Yes, they can go to our platforms on Facebook. We've got a website, FEDE Eyewear website. We're going to go all over Instagram, LinkedIn in the near future, but they can just maybe reach us on the website, and our contact details is right there. And we'll also try to reach out to as much as optometrists in the near future as we can.
Wow. That is FEDE Eyewear. And guys, fantastic product. I'm loving it. I'm loving the potential that it's got in adding value to thousands and thousands and thousands of patients. And it gives you great comfort as an optometrist, knowing that the product that you're going to be recommending for your patients to be wearing on a full-time basis is a product that you can trust, a product that you know will deliver that exceptional patient experience that your patients deserve. So that's fantastic, Luzelke.
Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, Obi.